In August 2024, while digitizing old photographs from freed concentration camps for the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum, researcher Dr. Sarah Lieberman looked closely at a 1945 picture from Bergen-Belsen. The photo showed a little girl, about 6 years old, sitting on a cot in the children's recovery ward. She held a donated doll and gave a small, shy smile to the camera. It was one of many liberation photos that recorded survivors. The image had been labeled as Unidentified Child Survivor, May 1945. But when Dr. Lieberman studied the high-resolution version and zoomed in on the child's left hand, she saw something overlooked for 79 years. A number tattooed on her small forearm. This small detail would help identify the child and reveal her amazing story of survival. Sarah Lieberman had worked at the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C. for 12 years. She specialized in photo archives and finding names of survivors. Her team got around 500 new photographs each year from different places, like donations from families, old archives, estate sales, or scans of military files. In August 2024, the museum got a set of 847 photographs from the estate of Captain James Walsh, a U.S. Army medical officer who helped liberate Bergen-Belsen in April 1945. Captain Walsh passed away in 2023 at 102 years old, and his family gave his personal papers and photos to the museum. Sarah was given the job to catalog and scan the collection. Among the photos were pictures of the time, right after liberation, survivors in hospital rooms, medical staff helping patients, food and clothes being handed out, and children in recovery areas. One photo written on by Captain Walsh as Little Girl with Doll Children's Ward, May 12, 1945, showed a small child on a metal frame cot. She wore a big, donated dress. Her hair was cut short, probably shaved because of lice and sickness, and now growing back unevenly. She held a porcelain doll almost as big as she was. Her face looked unsure, not fully smiling, but trying to smile for the picture. Sarah had seen thousands of photos like this. Each one was very sad. They showed the first days after freedom, when survivors, especially children, started the slow healing of body and mind. Sarah scanned the photo at 6,400 dpi, the usual high quality for museum archives. She looked at the clear image on her screen and added details for the catalog. Then she zoomed in on the child's hands. The left hand partly held the doll. At 400% zoom, she saw something on the tiny forearm above the wrist. Numbers. Tattooed numbers. Sarah's breath stopped for a moment. She zoomed more. The tattoo said A7, 358. Sarah knew right away what it meant. Auschwitz had tattooed prisoners with ID numbers. The A series was used in 1944 for a certain group, but tattoos on children were quite rare. Most children sent to Auschwitz were killed right away in gas chambers. Those who got tattoos were chosen for forced work, medical tests, or other reasons. A child this young, maybe 6, with an Auschwitz tattoo, had gone through something almost impossible to imagine. Sarah checked the museum's database of known Auschwitz numbers. The A series had about 20,000 prisoners listed from May to July 1944. She looked up A7358. It showed A7358, female, registered May 28, 1944. No name recorded. No extra details. Auschwitz records were not complete. Many were destroyed by the Nazis before the camp was freed. Thousands got numbers, but no names. For many survivors, the tattoo was the only sign they had been there. But now Sarah had something special. A photo of a child with a clear tattoo number, taken soon after freedom at Bergen-Belsen. If this child lived, if she found family or went to survivor groups, there might be records, a name, a full story. Sarah started the work to find out who A7358 was. Dr. Lieberman began a full search to identify the girl in the photo. She started with facts she had. Auschwitz prisoner number A7358, registered May 28, 1944. Female. About 6 years old in the photo, so born around 1938 or 1939, in Bergen-Belsen under British control, May 12, 1945. Light brown hair, very thin, small size. She looked into the history of the A series at Auschwitz. It was for Hungarian Jews sent there in spring and summer 1944. In May to July 1944, about 440,000 Hungarian Jews were sent to Auschwitz in one of the fastest killing times of the Holocaust. Most were killed right away. Those picked for work got tattoos. Children were hardly ever chosen for work. They went straight to gas chambers. But some exceptions happened. Twins, for Dr. Joseph Mengele's experiments. Older kids 12 to 16 who said they were older, or young ones kept for special reasons or protected by family. A 6-year-old with a tattoo meant she somehow passed selection, lived through Auschwitz, and later went to Bergen-Belsen before freedom. Sarah reached out to several groups. The Arolsen Archives in Germany, which keeps records on Nazi victims, had partial info. A7358 registered at Auschwitz, May 28, 1944, but no name, no link to transport list, no freedom records. Yad Vashem in Israel showed a transport from Mumkaks, Hungary, to Auschwitz arriving May 28, 1944. About 3,000 people came. Records said 2,847 were killed right away. 153 got registered and tattooed. Among them were about 12 children under 10, which was unusually many for selection. The Bergen-Belsen Memorial Archives had freedom records. About 500 children under 12 were found when British troops freed the camp on April 15, 1945. Most were very sick. Many died in the next weeks, even with care. British records tried to name survivors, but many children had no ID, didn't know names, or were too young or hurt to talk. Sarah also contacted groups that help survivors find family after the war. She looked at records of children in displaced persons camps, orphanages, and foster homes. The big find came after 3 weeks. In the Bergen-Belsen archives, Sarah found a handwritten list called Children's Ward. Unidentified. May 1945. Entry 47. Female child about age 6. Auschwitz tattoo, 7,358. No name known. Speaks Hungarian. Not talking much. Placed with UNRWA in June 1945. UNRWA was the United Nations group that helped displaced people after the war. Sarah followed UNRWA's later groups and their old records. In September 2024, she found a transfer paper from June 18, 1945. Child A7358. Name unknown. Sent to Jewish Children's Home in Paris, France, with survivor Ava Klein, a nurse volunteer. It said the child had bad trauma, did not speak, needed more medical and mind care. Now Sarah had a place and time. She contacted the group that ran the Jewish Children's Home in Paris from 1945 to 1952. They cared for about 400 survivor children who lost families. Their records went to the Memorial de la Shoah in Paris. Sarah asked the archivist, who checked 1945 intake papers. On September 15, 2024, Sarah got an email with scans. Intake record June 22, 1945. Hannah Goldberg, about age 6, from Mumkaks, Hungary. Auschwitz prisoner A7358, freed from Bergen-Belsen. No known family left. Child very under, fed, has tuberculosis, does not speak. Tattoo on left forearm. Put in medical area. Sarah now had the name Hannah Goldberg. More files showed her healing over months. July 1945, Hannah still not talking, knows her name, scared of men, but okay with women helpers. September 1945, Hannah starts speaking Hungarian. Asks for Anya. Mother, a lot. Has bad dreams. Needs watching all time. December 1945. Body getting better. Tuberculosis care continues. Mind trauma still bad. She bonds with Eva Klein, a staff person. March 1946. Hannah plays with other kids some, but still very anxious, won't let go of her doll. The one from Bergen-Belsen. She takes it everywhere. Sarah saw the doll in the 1945 photo, was Hannah's comfort thing. Her link to Freedom Day. Maybe the first gift after camps. Records said she kept that doll for years. What happened next to Hannah? Sarah followed records, 1946 to 1948. Hannah stayed at the Jewish Children's Home in Paris. Eva Klein, the nurse who took her from Bergen-Belsen, became her main caregiver. Eva was a Polish Jewish survivor who lived through Auschwitz as an adult and worked to help child survivors. 1948. Eva legally adopted Hannah, who had no family. 1949. Eva and Hannah moved to the United States, to New York City. 1950s to 1960s. Records less full, but Sarah found Hannah went to public schools in New York, lived with Eva, who never married, and gave her life to raising Hannah. Finished high school. 1970. Marriage record. Hannah Goldberg married David Rosenberg in New York. 1972. 1975. 1978 births of 3 children. Rebecca, Sarah, and Jacob Rosenberg. 1985. A newspaper piece in a New York Jewish paper said, Hannah Goldberg Rosenberg spoke at a Holocaust remembrance event. It quoted her, "I was 6 when freed from Bergen-Belsen. I don't recall my parents' faces or home in Hungary. I remember camps, hunger, fear. But I also remember the day I got a doll, the first toy in over a year. That doll meant hope, kindness, that the world could be good again. I kept that doll my whole life. I showed it to my children. I told them, this is what hope looks like." Sarah next checked if Hannah Goldberg Rosenberg was still living and if she could reach her or family. She searched public records, death notices, family history sites. Hannah lived in New York until 2018, then moved to a retirement place in Florida. She was 84 in 2024. She was alive. Sarah knew contacting survivors about old pain needs great care. Many build new lives, families. Try to go on. Sudden talk of trauma can hurt deeply. But many want stories saved, pain seen, world to remember. Sarah decided to go slow. She called a Holocaust survivor help group in Florida, explained, asked them to help connect. In October 2024, a worker met Hannah, said a researcher found a 1945 photo of her and wanted to share if she wanted. Hannah said yes to meet Sarah. On October 15, 2024, Sarah went to Florida and met Hannah Goldberg Rosenberg in the community room. Hannah's daughter, Rebecca, came for support. Hannah was small, white hair, clear eyes, used a cane. On her left forearm was the faded tattoo, a 7358. Sarah had a tablet with the scanned photo. "Rosenberg," Sarah said softly, "I want to show a photo from May 1945, soon after Bergen-Belsen freedom. It shows a little girl with a doll. We think it's you." Sarah showed it. Hannah looked long. Her daughter held her hand. "That's me," Hannah said quietly. "That's the doll." Tears came. "I haven't seen a picture of myself from then in 79 years. Camps didn't take photos of prisoners. My family had no cameras. I had nothing from that time but memories, the tattoo, and the doll." "You still have the doll?" Sarah asked. Hannah nodded. "Come." They went to Hannah's apartment. From a closet shelf, Hannah took a wrapped box. Inside, in tissue, was the porcelain doll from the photo. Same one, 79 years old, paint worn, dress yellow, but whole. "I've kept her all my life," Hannah said. "I named her Hope. When nightmares came, I held hope. When scared, I held hope. When I had my children, I told them Hope's story. that she came when I lost everything, that she showed kindness still existed after so much evil. That little girl there survived hell. She didn't know if safe would come, but someone gave her a doll. Someone showed kindness, and that kindness helped save her life as much as doctors did. Finding Hannah's name and linking the 1945 photo to the living woman changed the history and closed a 79-year unknown. Over next months, Sarah worked with Hannah to record her full story. Hannah's family before Holocaust, born February 1939, in Munkács, Hungary, now Ukraine. Father Jacob Goldberg, tailor. Mother Miriam Goldberg, seamstress. Brother David Goldberg, age 8 in 1944. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, about 35, in extended family. May 1944. Family forced into Munkács ghetto, with about 14,000 other Jews. May 23, 1944. Sent to Auschwitz. Arrival May 28, 1944. In selection, 5-year-old Hannah taken from mother's arms. For unknown reason, maybe mistake, or quick choice by SS, she got tattooed and sent to children's area, not killed then. Her mother, father, brother, most family killed in gas chambers soon after. Survival at Auschwitz, June 1944 to January 1945. Hannah lived in children's barracks by luck. Help from older prisoners, her small size hiding her sometimes. Used sometimes for medical tests, not deadly but very painful, on pain and hunger. January 1945. As Soviets came near, prisoners moved west. Hannah sent to Bergen-Belsen. She lived through death marches and awful conditions, there 4 more months until freedom. Freedom and heal in 1945. British freed Bergen-Belsen 1945. British freed Bergen-Belsen April 15, 1945. Hannah found in children's part, very sick with typhus and hunger. She healed slowly in British hospital area. The photo with doll taken May 12, 1945, 2 weeks before her 6th birthday, though she didn't know dates anymore after camps. The effect. The museum added Hannah's full story to collection. The identified 1945 photo went into exhibit. Faces found. Identifying unknown survivors. Hannah gave video testimony for archive. At 84, she shared broken but important memories. Her message in testimony. For most of my life, I was just a number, a 7358. Nazis tried to take my name, myself, my humanity. They marked me with a number like property, less than human. But I lived. I got my name back. I made a life. Had children, grandchildren. The number stays on my arm, but it doesn't say who I am. That 1945 photo shows change. From number to Hannah again. From victim to survivor. From nothing to getting something, a doll. Small gift, but everything. Hope, kindness, humanity. I want people to see that photo and know every Holocaust victim was a person with name, family, story. We were not just numbers, we were people. Survivors must tell stories so world never forgets. The doll, Hannah gave hope to the museum. It now, in case next to 1945 photo, with note, this doll given to Hannah Goldberg, Auschwitz, A7358. Soon after freedom from Bergen-Belsen, May 1945, she kept it 79 years as sign of hope and kindness in darkest times. Hannah's family today, 3 children, 8 grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren in 2024. Her family line from that 6-year-old girl who survived Auschwitz has over 30 people. At family meeting November 2024, Hannah's great-granddaughter, age 6 like Hannah in photo, asked to hold picture. That's you, great-grandma? Yes. You look sad. I was very sad then, but see the doll? Thigh. That gave me hope, and hope helped me live to be your great-grandmother. The girl looked close. Can I see your number? Hannah showed left arm. Faded A7358. child touched gently. "Does it hurt?" "Not anymore," Hannah said. "It hurt every day once. But now it's just reminder I survived."